Well, hello everyone. This is Warrior Woman, and I want to talk to you today about something that I'm honestly struggling with how I'm going to title this video. Because if I title it in a very candid way, let me just be honest, many of you will not click on to watch this. Because even though it's a very important subject, it is taboo. It is something that we're just not supposed to talk about. And I'll be honest, when I talk about it, which is not too often, but when I do talk about it on my social media, the crickets come out. I can just about almost hear crickets chirping because it makes people that uncomfortable. I will get no likes on the social media, like on Facebook, or very few. And I will often get, if anybody comments, the comments are usually from people who are debating or justifying because it is that hot of a subject. But I'm going to talk to you about it because it is something that I feel is very important. And what it is about is genital mutilation. Routine infant genital mutilation, also known as circumcision. They do this over in Africa in Muslim communities. They do this to little girls. We're horrified when we hear of it. I mean, I read of this one time being performed on little girls in Africa, and just to read about it nauseated me. It just made me sick to my stomach. I didn't even have to watch it. I didn't even have to see it with my own eyes. Just to read about it made me want to vomit. Yet, we do this every day, all day long in America to little boys, and it's okay somehow. Why? Because it's culturally acceptable, because our medical community, which we know is corrupted and for profit, tells us that it's okay. Well, at least some of them do. That's changing, and I'm going to share that with you in just a moment in this video. But I hope that you are not going to back out. I hope that you're going to continue listening to me, because genital integrity is something that should be important to everybody. You might not have children, or you may not, your children might be grown, you might not plan on having any more children, but you know, chances are you're going to run into people who are going to be in a position where they are considering this decision. And I hope that what I'm going to share with you today is going to help you to inform people so that we see less little boys going through this. And I know, you know, it's a hard message to share. I'm struggling to share it because I know a lot of you don't want to hear it. You've made up your mind, whether it's right or wrong, what you want to believe, and you are going to just shut me down, okay? But there are people out there that are opening their minds to hearing the truth, and it's making a difference. Those of us who are speaking the truth, we are making a difference, because the numbers of routine circumcision in America is going down. We've got a growing intactivist movement that is getting out there, spreading material. I'm going to share that with you. First off, I want to share with you, there is a documentary coming out called American Circumcision, and I'm going to share the trailer with you. I'm hoping that you will check it out and see it.
It's the moment when you realize that there's more here than meets the eye. You're going deeper and deeper and getting more and more horrified and more angry.
Most of the world is not circumcised. There's no medical society in the world that recommends routine infant circumcision.
There are anti-circumcision groups, the intactivists.
Intactivism is a worldwide movement
of people who believe that all children have a right to keep the genitals they were born with.
Men ask, why was this forced on me? It's my body, it should be my choice. I didn't want the procedure performed at all.
This is a huge activist cause, and we will win.
Benefit to risk ratio of circumcision is 14 to 1.
So it really is a shame that the rates of the procedure have really declined.
Those who oppose circumcision, they should desist.
Major claims require major proof. When you make a major claim that we doctors can improve upon the human body by removing organs, you've got to show me major proof.
There are a lot of people here that just think, oh, it's a little flap of skin. They don't know that it's being crushed and twisted and then sliced off.
Does that look like a piece of equipment that should be on a baby's penis?
I did them without anesthesia. They scream, but they scream if they're wet, if they're hungry and so on like that.
It's okay to talk about African mutilation, but this is America. We can't talk about, hurting our young boys.
I'm a multiply orgasmic male.
And I get my multiple orgasms from parts of my penis that I would not have if I were circumcised.
If you only knew, foreskin feels really good.
PEPFAR will provide circumcisions for almost 500,000 of boys and men.
Oh, I can't stand you! Another reason why! Oh, anyway.
Supporters of a circumcision ban have gathered enough signatures to put that measure on the ballot in November.
Anytime that I am at a circumcision, people know something's off.
Not all Jews are for maintaining this tradition.
How did a Jewish ritual become an American custom?
The AAP just entrains us to think it's the parent's choice.
What kind of person are you if you think it's someone's choice to tie a baby down and cut them up?
This is the human rights issue of the 21st century, the American human rights issue.
It permeates so much of our culture, and we don't talk about it.
Circumcision fundamentally changes you forever.
All right, so they're raising money right now for this movie. I hope you will go check out their Kickstarter campaign, and I'll put the link for that below because that needs to be supported, most definitely. But let's talk about some things that this trailer touched upon that I think it's very important. I have a friend who has worked in labor and delivery for gosh, I guess over 20 years now, about 20 years, if not longer. And she has sons, and she has witnessed many circumcisions in the nursery. And what she told me is that she would never recommend a parent consenting to this without first seeing one for themselves. And there are videos on YouTube where you can actually watch a circumcision. I will confess, though, I have not seen any of these videos because I just can't take it. I cannot stomach it. It just the thought of it is repulsive to me, all right? But if you think it's okay, no biggie, then, and it's okay for your kids, then go on and, watch somebody else's child having that done to them. And then, ask yourself again, do you really think this is okay? Put what you believe to the test. But let me let you hear a little bit from a parent who saw a circumcision before her son was about to get one.
I was in shock. I've never seen anything like it before. I was elated because for years I've been feeling guilty for not having my son circumcised. And I didn't realize that aside from the fact that it looked like major trauma and abuse to the baby that I did see get circumcised, which made me make my decision to not have my child circumcised in the hospital after his birth. Biblically, you're being condemned. Other people cosmetically say, oh no, you should have your son circumcised no matter what. It's unclean. It's this. There's so many things that I started feeling guilty of, even though he was taught to be clean. He's been healthy. He's 18 now. There's no issues. But this protest made me feel proud that I made the right decision because apparently, aside from following my own heart, there are some medical benefits to keeping your foreskin as opposed to having it mutilated.
Mm-hmm.
Instinct. I saw the baby being tormented. I didn't see any kind of numbing medication to subdue the pain. The child was in so much pain, there was no sound coming out. This was at CPMC Medical Center, so California Pacific Medical Center.
So you actually saw a baby being circumcised?
Yes, I went to the nursery to get my baby and saw another baby in this area being circumcised. It was traumatic. I saw the baby, like I said, being more or less held down, mutilated. There was no sound. He was in complete shock. His body was kind of frozen. I'm still in pain from remembering what I saw. And at that point, I was like, nope, you're not cutting my son. Nope, 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 nope.
Good
And luckily,
mom.
I saw that because they probably would have done it automatically.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, when we went to his pediatrician as he was about 8 or 9, the pediatrician brought it to his attention that he wasn't circumcised, and so that would mean he would need to be extra careful as far as cleanliness and whatnot, which I taught him how to do that. His father, we bathe. But, it was interesting that she brought it to his attention. And so, again, it made me think, wow, did I do the right thing initially by not circumcising him, or should I have circumcised him? But I think whether you're circumcised or not, you should still be clean.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. I'm not a male, so I don't know what it's like to have foreskin or not have it, but, well, it's different. You're right.
Let's not find out.
You're right.
But it's the same thing.
Yes.
Anything else you might want to add?
I'm just glad you're out here. Thank you.
Is this audible? Is the judge in?
So yeah, she said it's different. Well, and I said, let's not find out about, female circumcision. Yeah, I don't want anybody touching me down there. And I wouldn't want anybody touching my children, male or female, down there. And I do have a female friend who told me with her first son, they just took her baby off, to the nursery and did the circumcision, and she wasn't anywhere around, and so she doesn't even know what he went through. And then when the second son was born, she had a midwife do the circumcision. By the way, my midwife would never do that. I don't know what kind of midwife this was, but anyway, the midwife agreed to do the circumcision while she was holding her son, and she said what she saw nearly made her faint, because she could see from the look on his face that he was in excruciating pain, and she felt horrible. She said that she just immediately started praying and telling the midwives that this is child abuse. How could they even do this? She had no idea what this was about, because we've normalized this to the point where people don't even question anymore. You let somebody cart your baby off to the nursery and cut what amounts to 1/3 of their penis off. Research this. That is what is happening. They are doing all-out amputations of foreskin. This reduces sexual functioning in adulthood, obviously, to 60%. And, the argument, the scriptural Christian argument is that in the Old Testament that God commanded people to do this. Well, like my Christian friend said, this was only commanded once. And what was commanded was, if you read scripture, it was a gnashing of the skin. It was like an outer marking, like a tattoo, okay? It was never this all-out amputation that's being performed today. And even if you look at the history of the Jewish moels who performed these ritual Jewish circumcisions today, their practices, their procedure has evolved over time to become increasingly amputative in nature. And if you go back to the original scripture, it never was that way. But those of you who are Christian, You have absolutely no excuse. Not that Judaism is any excuse in my opinion either, but Christians have no excuse, because if you read the book of Galatians, you can see pretty much that entire book is the Apostle Paul calling out the people of Galatia for their ritualistic practice of circumcision. This is a religious spirit. It is a spirit that honors rules and rituals above nature of God. And if you study actual biblical circumcision in the New Testament, it does not involve circumcision of the flesh. It involves a circumcision of the heart, metaphorically speaking. And so I don't want to get too preachy on here, but people are way off. Like, we're not supposed to be doing that under any arguments. This is sick and sadistic. And I know some of y'all are going to get offended for me calling it what it is. But honestly, if you start looking at the facts, you will see that the reason why this is going on is for profit. We are dealing with a medical industry that has, through the generations, marketed itself cleverly in a way to sell this procedure that is completely unnecessary. And they've done so by brainwashing Americans who don't do their homework into believing that by being whole and intact as you were made with your full God-given gear, that you are somehow unclean and unattractive. And let me tell you this, from a woman's perspective. Let me choose my words. Let me say this. The full package is the best package. No, I'm not going to say that it's a deal breaker in a relationship. Obviously, there's more to sex than body parts, okay? But, seriously, do you want 1/3 less penis or 1/3 more penis? Do you want penis that has more nerve endings, more flesh? It's kind of logical what both parties would want in that situation. And so I think that it's time for us to deprogram from the medical manipulation that's gone on. And I want you to listen to what one doctor has to say. One doctor who's, a lot of more medical people are coming out and getting honest, and I appreciate this. And here's one of them.
An obstetrician does it, they look and they never see this kid's penis again. And I gotta tell you, I've seen some really mutilated kids. In fact, one doctor at the hospital I practice, this is an old Polish woman who was an obstetrician. And I said, enough is enough. I went to the hospital administration, I said, she's butchering these boys. You need to stop this. And I was ostracized. You cannot go against a doctor. I said, what? This was probably 30 years ago. You know, no doctor ever did that then. And I was really ostracized. And people said, they called me a traitor, a Turk. I said, why? I said, just like everything else, there's good doctors, there's shitty doctors. There's doctors that shouldn't be touching people.
There really is no right circumcision.
Well, no, I understand that. Yeah. I understand that. I'm not saying it should be done. But you sure as hell shouldn't be having the obstetricians do it.
Frank,
they'll line them up, they'll 2, 3 in a row. Why? You know, if you see them shortly after birth, and there's a chunk of foreskin off on this side, and there's nothing on, it's just totally asymmetric. I've seen kids with the glans penis, part of it chopped off. I mean, just, bad things. I saw one kid with a urethral laceration. I mean, come on.
How do you feel when you see that?
I'm nauseated.
I'm nauseated too.
I mean, there's studies that have come out in the past that suggested that circumcision was the right thing to do medically, and there's certainly been a ton of studies that have refuted that. And as a pediatrician, I mean, I'm here to protect kids. Yes. That's my livelihood, and protect them from everything. Circumcision is one of the numerous things that we try to protect them against. What I usually tell people is, it's a very personal decision. I can't tell you what you should do. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what I think you should do.
Yeah.
And my opinion is it's unnecessary. There's no, as we stand here today, there's no good medical data that suggests that it has to be done. So I would say, my recommendation is that you don't need to do it. And I would think about it. We used to be able to have that discussion. We'd see a baby, hasn't been circumcised yet, we'd be able to grab the parent and say, listen, let's talk about this. Why do you want to do this? What are your reasons? And let's walk through them one by one and talk about it. We don't get that opportunity anymore. But if a parent comes in prior to having a baby, what we call a prenatal visit in our office, so they come in to meet us, kind of meet and greet, find out what our office is all about, and they'll ask about that if they're having a boy, I'll tell them that it's not recommended.
Yep. Thank you.
And we don't do it.
Thank you. Thank you. That guy's got it right. Now, if you want to learn more about this, or you want to turn somebody on to some, places they can go where they can learn more about this, I highly recommend Intact America, and they're on Facebook, and they have got a lot of great resources on here, a lot of good support, and I get a lot of information from them regularly. Great group. Definitely encourage you to join them and support them. Also, the NoCirc.org, National Organization of Circumcision Information Resource Centers, great site full of information, and they're a member of the International Coalition for Genital Integrity. They're also an affiliate of the Alliance for Transforming the Lives of Children. And they're involved with Intact America as well. And so, a lot of great information there. But in the meantime, like I said, I would like to encourage you guys to help this circumcision documentary to come out, and visit the Kickstarter and share this Kickstarter with anybody who you think might be able to help, and support them when they come out with their documentary finally, which I think it's coming out in about a year. I'm definitely going to watch it, and I'll probably do a review of it on this channel, because we got to stop this. We really do. Alright, y'all, for those of you who hung in there all the way up to the end of this video to watch this, I thank you. You are special people. You are troopers. You're my favorite. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Till next time, y'all take care.